Speak the Word with Pastor Allen Olomuyiwa. Please stay tuned.
The moment God drove Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden and placed his sword at that entrance, they move out and move into the woods and to till the ground as the Lord ordered it. But before they move out, when the Lord came into the garden, they have gone into the woods and God called them back, said, you can't go with that leaf. He changed the leaf and gave them coat of skin. Now, that was not how God planned to move them out of the garden. But they fast forward everything. They were in a hurry, and God had to clean them up and give them something that can sustain them. When you see some ladies, if you love me, you will come and hit this thing with me, just in a way to make covenant that the guy will not leave or the lady will not leave. And that's exactly what Adam and Eve did in the garden by eating the forbidden fruit, knowing fully well that they're supposed not to eat it. At least if Eve was not fully aware and didn't understand the gravity of that thing, Adam knew and God showed him. And they ate it and they were quickly packaged and rushed out of the garden. So the moment they moved out of the garden and they went to till the ground, which was as a result of struggling and all the like, that's the consequence of tilling the ground. And God himself had to send grace ahead, grace into the world, and he started seeking whom God can reach out to. So all that they were doing turned out to be creating violence, all the likes of corruption on the earth, and God still even in the pipeline to make way for man. So grace was sent and it was still on the earth searching. So it got to a time that a seed was born of a family, Lamech, and that seed turned out to be the one that stopped the toiling, the struggling of the family. And after a while in Genesis chapter 6, grace found that guy named Noah. And grace brought him to God. Now, it was written in that chapter 6 verse 8, and Noah found grace. So, whether you want to stay by Noah found grace or grace found him, the bottom line is he received grace and grace brought him to God. Grace comes in diverse mode. It can first of all reveal a word or plan to you, and once you agree to it, you will receive him and it will lead you to what will bring change in your life. And that's what it means. He received grace, and grace brought him to God, and God revealed his plans. The Lord said to him, I want to wipe the entire world. The end of flesh has come. Violence and corruption is already on the earth, and I cannot be striving with flesh. And he said, this is what I want to do, but for you, you are going to build me an ark. And that ark is your job. And Noah received it. And afterwards, he built the ark. God helped him to build it. And after a long while, the Lord saw the ark and he took possession and he said, come into the ark. And from that place, it said about the man that you have found righteous in this place. And God brought, through that man, he brought couples into the ship, and about 8 of them that enter. And that 8 signifies 4th generation. Noah himself and the wife, his first son and the wife, second son and the wife, and the third son and the wife, which result into 4th generation that God has originally planned for the race of humanity. And as they came into the ark, there were also clean beasts and unclean beasts, which I would say the clean beasts are the ones that God authorized man to eat, while the unclean are the ones God has not authorized man to eat. So in all our endeavors in life, there are some certain things we are not meant to eat, and there are some certain things we will eat. So we don't walk out of the confine of what will protect or cause us harm. So this they got, and they moved, and they were there to the end of the time that the flood and the likes of things were out of place. And God was privileged to speak to this couple after he has cleared everything and make the land to be plain before them. And he now said to them, Noah and everyone of you that is in the house with you, come out. And they came out, and God presented, a plain land before them, and they were able to come. They came out into the land, and after the whole thing, Noah was privileged to capture something, and he presented, built an altar and offered a sacrifice to God. And God smelled it and repented in his heart. And he said to man, sit down and harvest. I will return. Winter, summer, cold, heat, day or night, as long as the earth remains, and these seasons will not get out of the earth. And God restored to man, and a blessed man told him to be fruitful. Now, this that God did, and Noah responded to that God's, doing, was the thing God wanted to do for Adam and Eve. God wanted to, prepare them ready and make them to be fit, full, to come and, take over the land and begin to rule as he planned. But Adam and Eve rushed out. They didn't wait for the timing of God. They moved out before the actual time, and which what God came to correct through the man. God found a man and established through that man marriage, couple that will rule together on the earth, because he made them he and she them to start with. And that is what God got when he made Noah to go through the ark. So the ark is what grace offer. The ark is what the grace offer. Because the moment they missed out on what the Lord planned in the Garden of Eden, he had to arrange an ark so that they will go through it like a passage for them to be able to be safe and to be fortified, to be able to come to the earth and not grow in what the previous generation grew in. So that ark is the provision that grace offer to redirect and to correct. So the man was established to correct that thing Adam and Eve missed, and he got it corrected. But everything cannot be corrected in single, column or single phase. So God had to take it bit by bit. But the Lord got that result, and the man was able to find a couple and establish, and they came forth in their full generation, and he was able to establish it. And after a while, just like the man, after he was told to plant and all the likes of it, and while he was there, he switched back to what they used to have. He went to get a wine, and he started drinking. And that also implies that the man maybe have fallen toward all the switch moods and all the likes of it, and he was not used to the wife, because it will have been revealed that the wife was there. And if the wife was there, the wife will have cautioned him, help him to cover up. So the wife was not there. He was alone. That means something was wrong with him. And he thought, okay, like we used to have it, let me go and get the wine. Only God knows where he got the wine from. It may be in the ark or pick it out from there. And he drank to the point he naked himself. And an innocent boy came in, and he was caught up in that act that he later cursed him and claimed that boy to, caused that boy to be grounded in some way And the entire generation that was on his inside was even caused by that act. Now, the wife was not there. The wife will have covered, but the sons came back to cover up for him. But it's supposed to be the wife to cover that space. And this is what will lead us to the couple that Jesus first met as his first miracle in John. The two were together. Despite all the challenges, all the steering, all the problem they were going through, the crisis, the chaos, they came to where Jesus was invited. Or they invited Jesus rather, and they said, we need wine. Jesus, it's not yet my time. Mary said, they need wine. And he told them, whatsoever I ask you to do. This couple came to ask, but they have been able to sort their issues and they stuck together, and their languages was one, and they were able to speak to him. And Jesus said, okay, get a water pot, fill it, and afterwards take out of it to the governor of the feast, and there they discovered there was wine. And it's a proof that wine was restored into that oil. Noah missed that part of the wine because he didn't wait. He went to go and get it by himself. But this one came to ask God, came to ask Jesus, in your home, what are you lacking? Did you seek it out for yourself, by yourself, or you have gone to somewhere else, or you call on God? These are things that cause problem. There's a way my father used to have it. There's a way you used to have it. There's, many of us go to festival, family functions, that's all that they are doing there is not in line with the faith we have received that is of God. And yet we still partake and such things during the real wine, the sweetness, the happiness, the joy in our family. And we are looking at us, what happened? We have forgotten that what we have tasted and caused problem. But this couple recognize that there is Jesus who is the one that is called grace, that has provided an ark for them to find their land. But in their land, they discover it was not just easy for them, but they returned to him to say, you must give us wine. We're already in the land, we need wine so that we can enjoy that which is in for us. And this is key to understand the first thing the man missed, even after God has gotten him to establish him in the original thing he planned. And afterwards, men went into the woods again, that God started seeking for something that causes a turnaround. I will speak about that thing that God also was seeking after he got a couple. Next section. God bless you.